I'm going to say the Giants are also going to go 7-10, and it's only going to be after Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is benched for Jackson Dart in the first month of the season and never sees the field again because this is Jackson Dart's team and it's Jackson Dart's future. And he's going to find a way with his positive play to save Brian Dable's job, even though they only go 7-10. Maybe they go 8-9. Maybe Dallas finishes last. Yeah, you know what? Screw it.
Do it.
Giants 8-9. Cowboys 7-10. Mm-hmm. Giants are going 8-9 because it's Jackson Dart season, baby. Let's go.
And speaking of getting the party started.
For the victory lap, though. They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train under trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands, and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Switch gears, we keeping hitters in the rear. At the blood, sweat, and tears, and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. 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 And today, we break through.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 78 of the Gridiron Podcast, the only podcast in the world that combines all the grid of Formula One and the iron of American football. As always, I'm Sean Barie, and joining me on this podcast is our bald behemoth holding down the fort in the land as he pops a Lucy lip pillow. It's Nick Shook, NFL.com talent writer, and the sometimes absent Katie Caldwell, who tonight is absent. She's having problems with her Wi-Fi. To be fair, she's having problems with her Wi-Fi. So,
you gave them the old switcheroo.
Yeah, we're
pulled the chair on them. They all thought they were about to hear Katie's. By the way, I'm just gonna say this now. Katie's beautiful voice. Katie has I don't know what it is. Maybe I just listened to too many voiceovers over the course of our career. She has a phenomenal voiceover voice, especially when she speaks in lower tones.
She can do a lot of she could do voice acting right now.
Oh,
she can do promos easily.
For sure.
As somebody that makes a living, because let's be honest, I've got a pretty decent voice. Humble brag. Katie has the ability to actually do some voice acting, I think.
Well, you do too. I mean, let's not.
I have a deep voice. That's all I got. That's what I kind of hang my hat on.
Yeah, that's all you need. To I mean, you could look at Ving Rhames
and this hair, Nick, and this hair.
Nobody gives a shit about your hair. They care about the
TV,
voice.
So I need hair. Oh,
I mean, you have good hair.
Thank you.
I have a shampoo.
You don't need hair, by the way.
News anchor shampoo, news anchor hair shampoo.
Why?
Which, yes, I still shampoo my head because I still have a scalp, Sean. I still have hair follicles. I still gotta keep that area clean. You'd be surprised. You shave this head and you
can't just
shampoo
use body
it.
wash.
No, my microphone.
And down goes Nick's mic.
No, what I do. Oh God, I'm a Gen Zer now. First off, I've completely taken this off the rails, but I'm a Gen Zer. I'm holding my dynamic mic now. My biggest pet peeve in podcast culture these days. No,
that's what I'm doing.
I have to. Yeah, but that's different because the thing's on a stand. They'll take an SM7B or whatever I have here, the Samson, and they'll just hold it by the underside of it as if. It's not a handle. It's not a stick mic. If you want to hold a mic, get a stick mic. No, I do shampoo my hair, Sean, because I use a little Pantene, a little clean, little condition sometimes.
Yeah, Mr. Clean.
Because even if you don't have hair, you still get an oily, your oil still builds up there. So the more you know. Fun fact of the day.
You just completely skipped over my bald joke.
I know. Bald is beautiful.
It is.
You're confident.
By the way, I want to reiterate, you don't need hair to be on TV. Bald is beautiful. Having hair is beautiful. You do you. Live your own life. But yeah, Katie's absent this week. I think that was the long kind of train ride around that point is Katie's not here. She's having some Wi-Fi problems. So it's just Nick and I, the old Sean and Shook podcast, running things this week. We've got a lot to get into. We're going to start off with Formula One, and then we are going to finish up our NFL division previews with a double division preview tonight. We're going to tackle both the AFC and NFC North divisions, and then wrap things up with the AFC and NFC East, because we didn't time this out well, and next week is week 1. So, without any further gilding the lily, Nick, let's start in the world of Formula One, where we are coming out of a summer break, a long summer slumber, to just the most breaking news of the summer, but also news we all saw coming, is Cadillac, the 11th team on the grid next year, officially has a driver pairing, and that pairing is who everyone kind of expected, and that's Valtteri Bottas and Checo Perez. Didn't see that one coming, did you, Nick?
I didn't expect this coffee to taste this poor either. I expected Valtteri. We talked about this in the show prior. He did a little teaser. Oh, look, it's a Cadillac. There's 2 seats. Why don't you get in?
Empty.
And he's like, not yet. And so I kind of expected this. But Checo posted a picture in some office, beautiful office, corner office, massive windows, view of the cityscape. I don't know where he was. Like a week and a half ago, I was like, oh, there's Checo in his post F1 life. Psych! He's in the car. And he's driving. Is this not the perfect way for Cadillac to enter F1 by choosing 2 fan favorite drivers, including one that's got a lot of money behind him in Checo Perez, to start with this team? I mean, we don't know how their car's going to be, but I think everybody's going to have a new favorite team next year just because Valtteri and Checo are the guys that are so easy to root for.
Valtteri announced he was on the team by surfing in a suit holding an American flag.
And it wasn't AI.
It was not AI. If you look up the picture on his social media, it looks like it's AI. It's not AI. He posted the video of himself falling off. I don't know if it was a surfboard or it was one of those, like, jet boards or whatever you call them. But either way, like, that's Valtteri Bottas. That's what he brings to the table. What do you bring to the table? I bring this. Okay, just straight aura farming. We get you, VB, in the car. And then, you got the money, the backing, and some continental pride in, North America. Some continental pride in Sergio Perez. You bring 2 experienced drivers. And there was a lot of talk that said, Cadillac wants one experienced driver and they want one, younger driver. Maybe, give Mick Schumacher another chance. And we were talking about this, whether it was the last podcast or the podcast before. We were saying, who do we think should get the seat and who do we think will get the seat? And I think I said, Checo and Valtteri should get the seat, because I think they play off well against one another, right? They were both number 2 drivers to 2 of the greatest to ever race in this sport, in Lewis Hamilton for Valtteri Bottas, and then for Checo, it was, Max Verstappen. They were both number 2 drivers. Well, here they are. They're not number 2 anymore. They're not number 2. They are, well, technically, we don't know yet because we have not even seen the car. And when they test a car, they're not even going to test their own. They're going to test someone else's. So I'm excited. I think it at least gives the opportunity for a lot of cool content. And we're gonna talk about it a lot. But this was also just the most, everyone saw this coming. No one was surprised when they released the video and Keanu Reeves was like, we've been expecting you. And the 2 drivers took their helmets off, and it was Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. No one was surprised. We're like, okay, that makes sense. Finally, cool.
Yeah, I was like, what is this, some John Wick promo? Although Valtteri, perhaps I examined this man's facial hair too much. They showed a half shot of his mustache, and I was like, that's Valtteri Bottas. Before they did anything else, I was like, that's Valtteri Bottas.
It's easy.
So
it's easy.
I had a feeling that the surprise, again, wasn't there with him for me. Keanu voicing it, I was like, okay, this feels like some sort of John Wick cross promo that's going to feature Valtteri. And, there were, a bit of, they were alluding to Cadillac and everything else. But it wasn't until the end of the promo when Checo is revealed where I'm like, whoa! That's the big shock for me.
That's the thing, too. Valtteri has been, promoting this. Like we said with the video, oh, look, a Cadillac, and there's 2 empty seats. You said, no, not yet. We knew it was Valtteri. He kept teasing it. No one would keep teasing it like that unless they had the job. Checo felt more like maybe, maybe not. You knew it was going to be Valtteri. Checo, maybe not so much.
You know what I'm doing right now? I'm going through the transcript from that episode we did. It was episode 74, Austria Eagles Cinema, if you want to check it out on our podcast feed or on YouTube. And I'm reading through and trying to remember as I'm reading through who you chose. You did not say Checo. You did not. For a second, we thought you were going to say Logan Sargent. You know who you said? Alex Palou.
Oh, well, we can bring that up in a second because Alex Palou is getting some noise. He's getting some traction here in the F1 world. 4-time now IndyCar champ. We'll talk about him in a second. What I want to know, Nick, is how do you think this driver pairing will work?
That's a good question. I think Valtteri's your quicker driver, and Checo. God, that sounds so cliche.
I don't know, man. I think they're both good, and I think the experience.
No, I was gonna say Checo's. He's the Mexican minister of defense. Like that's what I'm saying. But I don't know, man. I honestly I don't care. Like I don't care how it's gonna play out. I'm just excited that they took 2 veteran drivers who deserve seats, and they didn't go with 2 young guns and throw them in bad cars. Like. Yeah, if they're in the back of the field, we'll know why. It's not because they're not good drivers. It's because they're in bad cars. But it gives them a fighting chance from the driver's side that if they kind of match it with machinery, then maybe they're, an upstart team that nobody saw coming.
As long as they don't have to drive that second Red Bull car, I think they'll be fine. They're not going to be fighting at the front. I mean, that would be an amazing story if they were. That'd be just phenomenal if they were. But obviously, there'll be a back marker. But I just want to see, can this team progress? Can it find its footing? And they kind of have, a big factor working in their favor in that it's a new formula next season. So everyone is trying to figure their stuff out. So is Cadillac. So at least they didn't have to start like this year and then completely change the car while they're trying to figure out a team. Yeah.
Don't count them out. Just because they're a new team, you don't know. They can have some wizard engineers and technical directors that are putting together a masterful car. We don't know. And then if it's Checo and Valtteri, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like the potential might not be realistic in terms of likelihood, but the potential for something fantastic in the narrative department, it is there.
Well, I think it's exciting. I think they chose the 2 right drivers, I think. And I think they play well off one another, just the press tour they were doing today. The other thing, too, is I just want some cool merch to drop because I know I'm a McLaren fan, but if I can get some cool Cadillac merch, I will rock that. And adopt them as my American team so I don't have to support Haas. Because
nobody likes Haas. Nobody wants to support Haas.
Even Haas doesn't like Haas.
Even Haas, they get up in the morning.
Haas doesn't even like himself.
They look in the mirror and they're like, God, I hate you so much. And then they put their Haas hat on and go to work.
They spit on their face in the mirror.
Yeah, and just walk away as the spit slowly trickles down the mirror, yeah.
You did mention the other driver I wanted to talk about, Nick, Alex Palou, because lately the now 4-time IndyCar Series champ, 3-time in a row, he has been linked to that second Red Bull seat. Because we don't have anyone opposite Max Verstappen next year. So what do you think, as a Red Bull fan, would you take a guy that's largely considered to be one of the top 10 drivers in the world right now, regardless of series, would you take him in the second seat there next to Max?
I would take Jesus Christ in that car, and frankly, I don't think Jesus Christ could drive it any better than Yuki Tsunoda. It's,
blaspheme.
Supernatural powers aside. I mean, that's how designed the car is for Max. Even Max is struggling with it sometimes.
Max gets on the radio. My drink system, it tastes like wine. You're welcome, bro.
What's that in the hospitality? Fishes and loaves? Whoa. What's going on here? You want to get technical with some biblical history? I got you. 13 years of it. Yeah, it's. I don't think it matters who's going to be in that car. I think it would be very cool if he ends up in the seat, and it would be a nice test of. Yeah, I mean, because you're making the crossover from IndyCar over to F1, of course, but it would be a nice test of where Red Bull stands as a manufacturer of a car, because as it stands right now, their car, it doesn't stink, but it's hard to drive. It's like a non-starter for a lot of drivers, most drivers. So it would be cool, but I'm a pessimist, as you know, glass half empty kind of guy some days, trying to be better at it. I'm a cynic, and I'm very cynical about Red Bull right now.
Look, Alex Palou's won now 4 titles in 5 years. He's still in his early 20s. I think he's like 23 or 24. He won 9 races this year. I mean, he was the favorite to win the title this year, but nobody thought that he was going to come out and dominate the way he did because IndyCar is a spec series. He adds an Indy 500 title to his resume. Like, the guy was unstoppable this year. When I watched him in IndyCar, I'm just like, there's nothing left for him here to do. Like, he's already among the greats of this sport. He's from Spain. Like, he has those ties to Formula One. He's always asked about it. McLaren tried to sign him as their reserve driver a couple of years ago, and then Chip Ganassi Racing nixed that. So if there's, like, yeah, I think absolutely. You know, Jacques Villeneuve did it in the 90s. I think Alex Palou could absolutely do it. And Villeneuve went on to win a World Drivers' Championship in F1, so I think Alex Palou absolutely could. I don't know if the right move is to pair him with Max Verstappen, but, I mean, fun. There's only now 22 seats in the world for Formula One, so if one comes your way, you're not going to pass it up, or you shouldn't, especially if you're below.
Can we blame or perhaps credit Brad Pitt for F1 allowing an 11th team onto the grid? Because, like, the 22 driver thing looked weird in the movie. Oh, by the way, it's been long enough now. The spoiler, what's the word I'm speaking of, or thinking of, but not speaking? I can't talk today. The spoiler period in which we weren't allowed to speak about the movie.
Oh yeah, it's long over. If Katie hasn't seen the movie by now, that's her fault. She has
22 drivers in the movie. I'm like, that's weird. Well, now it's going to be our new reality. Is that Brad Pitt's fault?
I mean, they used to have. I think they used to have 11 teams. I think they used to have 12 at some point. Back in the day, they used to have. You would have to qualify for the race because they had like 26 slots available. So, like, if you showed up and you didn't qualify, well, then you just went home.
Just pure chaos.
Exactly. By the way, if you'd like to talk to us, go ahead and chime in on the chat. You can also hit us up on Instagram at GridironPod. That's on IG at GridironPod. And you can email us at thegridironpodcast3. That's the Gridiron Podcast, number 3. Damn those other two. At gmail.com. We love hearing from you. Try and post on there as much as possible. Hit us up there. But, yeah, I would like to see Palou in F1. He's done everything he can and more in IndyCar, and I think he's outgrown it. As much as I love IndyCar, you know, Formula One, it's bigger, it's better, it's got more money, it's got the backing, but it is more cutthroat. So he could always come back to IndyCar, but, you know, I would love to see him over there. Speaking of, we're coming out of the summer break, Nick, and we are going where?
Dutch. It's not as fun without Dutch. Katie. It's not.
I know.
It's Katie's voice, the way she says it, the excitement, the pure joy in her voice when she says Dutch.
If you don't understand the reference, about 2 years ago when we were doing our Dutch Grand Prix predictions, I just said, Katie, where are we going this week? And she just looks up and goes, Dutch. Like, just not the Netherlands, Holland, the Dutch Grand Prix. She just goes, Dutch. Okay, we got to find the clip and play that. But so we've been saying it like that ever since. So we're going Dutch this week to Zandvoort by the sea. Coming out of the summer break, drivers, engineers couldn't touch the car for a couple of weeks, and now they're getting back into the swing of things, Nick. 10 races left to go in this now 2-horse race between Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris at McLaren. You want to get right into race predictions?
When was the last race? Was it early August or was it in late July?
Late July. It's been almost a month.
I had like a month off.
Yeah.
Let's go right to race predictions. I don't think much is going to change. Like, if you couldn't touch the car, maybe you're working on some upgrades over time, but, like, if you couldn't touch the car, I don't know. I hate to be a Debbie Downer when it comes to the F1 season, but it's very much a 2-horse race, and they're both dressed in papaya.
I find it so hard to believe that Max is not going to win his home Grand Prix. But it's going to happen because that car, especially as of late, heading up to the summer break, was not good. It wasn't just like, oh, Max is, punching above his weight. No, now he's losing to, Liam Lawson and losing to, just Nico Hulkenberg. Like, they're losing to Saubers and to Racing Bulls and to Williams. Like, they're finishing, if they do finish in the points, towards the back. So, yeah, I don't think Max is going to finish on the podium here. He might make it close because he's home, going to have the Orange Army there. But, yeah, give me your top 3, Nick.
Actually, I want you to go first because I'm going to do a little research here real quick.
All right, cool. I think in third place, I like the way Ferrari was looking towards the end there. I'm going to go Charles Leclerc because I still don't think Lewis Hamilton has a handle on this car. I'm going to go Charles Leclerc for P3. P2, we're going Lando Norris, which means P1, OP, Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, I like that.
I think Oscar, who was ahead by 9 points at the break, but Lando, he ended the first half on a win. I'm still going to go with Oscar to win this one, though, because I think this is just going to be, honestly, flip a coin each week unless something crazy happens or we have a wet weather race. I think we're just going to flip a coin between the two McLarens. So this week, heads came up, so I'm going to go with Oscar.
Yeah, Lando won this race last year by a wide margin. There was a brief period in which Max flirted with Lando, and then Lando just pulled away. So it's going to be a McLaren out front. I think, just for the sake of variety, I'm not going to choose the same podium. It's going to be, I'm going to go P3 with George Russell.
Okay.
P2 is going to be Oscar Piastri, and P1 is going to be Lando. And you know me, I'm not overly confident in Lando as a driver in terms of mental fortitude, toughness. Does he have the killer instinct? I've never really been a big believer that he does. But something about that last win just makes me think he's carrying this momentum from the break into this weekend. I do wonder if maybe he enjoyed himself a little bit over the break, and maybe if that holds him back or not.
Possible, yeah.
He does have a reputation for that. So
he is. Didn't he? Was it last year that he showed up in the Netherlands with that gash on his face? No, that was Miami. Or was it Miami?
Yeah, with the gash on his face.
Yeah,
that he got from partying.
Because he broke a beer bottle on his face.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the point, though. You are supposed to enjoy yourself over the summer break. Hopefully every driver did.
Within moderation.
You're millionaires and you all live in Monaco. What would you? Where are you going? You're a millionaire. You live in Monaco. You have a month off of work. Where are you going?
And you live in Monaco? God.
And you live in Monaco.
South of France.
That's where Monaco is.
Well, again, not a geography wizard here. I don't know, dude. I can't even fathom that. I'd have a hard time keeping my life on the rails.
I think I'm just renting a yacht and stopping at every cool just resort place along the Mediterranean. We're going to Casablanca. We're going to, Greece. And I know this isn't in order of where you would probably go, or maybe it is. Who cares? But just for a week. Screw it, we're going to Italy. I want to go to Italy now.
Yeah, I feel like if I were... this just goes to show the state of my consciousness in my life, which is that I've really never even contemplated vacation because I don't take them. And so whenever somebody's like, what's your dream vacation? I'm like, I have no idea. I've never even looked at somebody else's picture from Santorini and been like, oh, I want to do that. No, it's just never been.
You don't want to go get your picture taken? You don't want to go get your picture taken in Santorini?
No, I mean, I would go there for the experience, not for the photo.
Nick posting thirst traps in Santorini.
Oh, yeah, just get real, put a bunch of baby oil on and just do his front double bi pose.
All right, Diddy, calm down.
Yeah. Anyway.
I want to ask, how many races? We got 10 left. How many races does a non-McLaren win from here on out?
3.
Okay, I was going to say over under 3. So you got to go over or under.
Well,
but you said 3. Push.
Over under is a half. So, you could, if you said 3.5, I'd go
so over under 2.5. Taking it over.
Over 3.
I like that. I'll go under just to be different, but I like that. 10 races left. It's not they have the most dominant car, yes, but it's not so dominant 21 Red Bull.
Well, no, they're going to crash into each other at least one more time.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. As
this remains tight, the pressure is going to increase, and they are going to.
When
the pressure increases, people make mistakes.
They got to follow those papaya rules, man. They got to follow them papaya rules.
O'Doyle rules. All right, what do we have next?
Rules. Nothing. We're going into the NFL. We're going to switch gears. We are going into the NFL, our final 4 division previews. Let's start off, Nick, with the North. Let's start in the AFC North because this is a division near and dear to both of our hearts. You having grown up in Cleveland, myself in Pittsburgh. Let's start with, so how we've been doing this, by the way, for you following at home, we've just been kind of going, hey, I think this team's going to win second, third, fourth place. Nick, would you like to go first as you're the NFL.com talent writer here?
Yeah, the Ravens are going to win the division. The Bengals and Steelers are going to finish very similarly
crazy
in
talk,
record.
man.
And the Browns are going to finish dead last.
Man, that's what I have not. That's completely wild thinking.
Crazy, man. How can a team in purple even win a division, man?
It's so ugly and just like, ooh, what? Who even likes Baltimore? But
they're
just
the same color as Grimace, man.
I haven't even seen, any predictions remotely close to that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Give me the Ravens at, do you want to go records? Do you want to say records, or are you just vibing?
I mean, I don't even need the vibes. I just no. I just don't know exactly where the Bengals are going to land because their defense is supposedly better this year. That was the talk out of camp, and then they've been not better on the field. So I had Baltimore at 14-3, and I had Cincinnati at 13-4, which is way too high.
No.
I'm gonna go Baltimore 14-3, Cincinnati 10-7, Pittsburgh 10-7, Cleveland 4-13.
All right. I will go. I think the Ravens are going to win the division. Shocker. As long as Lamar can stay healthy. He is healthy, right? I saw that he had an ankle, right? An ankle thing?
Yeah, he's fine. He gets stepped on. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Give me 13-4 for the Ravens, just because they're going to have a couple of wins already stacked up towards the end of the season, and they're not going to need to win those games. Then I will go. Give me the Bengals at 11-6.
Unless they're playing for the division, by the way. Unless they're playing for the division, or not the division, the AFC title. I mean.
But the Bengals defense, I think, is trash. I think it's molten trash. But Joe Burrow might be the best quarterback in the NFL. And he is just going to keep throwing it, keep chucking and ducking until they lose, which they might. But I have them at 11-6. I'll take the Steelers at 10-7 because Mike Tomlin. Because it's the Steelers.
The standard is the standard.
I don't think they're I don't know if they're better than they were last year. Maybe they are.
They think they are.
They always say that, though. Every team is going to say that. No team's going to come out and be like, actually, you know what? We're worse than we were last year.
Actually, you know what? We're not in the best shape of our lives.
I mean, if you're Kevin Stefanski, you can come out and say that. Like, actually, you know what? Yeah, we kind of suck right now, but it's all right. We're trying some things out. Give me the Steelers at 10-7, and then give me the Browns at, what did you say, 4-13?
Yeah.
Damn it, I kind of like that too. Give me 5-12, just to be different than you.
That's
Can't
generous.
believe you're giving them 5 wins. I know. Screw it. 3 and 14.
There we go.
3-14. There we go.
That's the honesty we're looking for.
3-14.
I don't know what the Bengals defense is going to look like. They did get Trey Hendrickson signed, which is great. Weird situation. They gave him a 1-year raise. I don't know if they can tag him or not. That was unclear.
I think the Bengals are the most intriguing team in this division.
Oh, for sure. Shamar Stewart has won the job opposite him. If their pass rush is better, their defense will inevitably be at least a little bit better, which would bring up the quality of the entire team, which would lead them to more victories. The Steelers, like you said, are they better than last year? I don't know. Is Aaron Rodgers going to make it through a full season? How's this receiving core looking? Like, is Roman Wilson going to play a part? Like, he was on the field in preseason. I hope he is.
I like the way Roman Wilson looked in the preseason.
They have a million tight ends, which is cool.
Yeah.
And the defense got a little remodeling too.
But I mean, it's still gonna be that defense as long as T.J. Watt is healthy. It runs through him. I like the Steelers' defense. I don't think it should be the highest paid in the league, but we'll see. And then what the question mark with the Steelers is on offense because you got a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers, you got DK Metcalf. Like, so many of these new pieces, by the way, did not play in the preseason, so they're going to be working it out the early parts of the season. But I still don't think they're any worse than they were last year. And if they got to 10 wins last year, they can sure as heck get to 10 wins this year. I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Russell Wilson at this point in his career. I do. So I think that's a slight upgrade if he can stay healthy. Because remember, he's still a 41-year-old who's 2 years removed from an Achilles surgery. So, body doesn't heal that miraculously. And then the Browns are just, dude, at what point is Flacco going to get benched? What week?
I don't think he gets benched. I think he gets hurt. And I think that happens by the midway point of the season. I think you end up seeing all three quarterbacks play, and the people who are Shedeur Sanders diehards are going to continue to allege that the Browns are intentionally sabotaging him, which just
no, guys,
in the most basic logical sense makes no sense at all. Why would you spend a draft pick on a guy only to sabotage him? Like, are you dumb?
The other thing, too, is the Browns, I mean, they absolutely are sabotaging Shedeur Sanders, but it's not because they're trying to. This is just how the Cleveland Browns operate with any quarterback.
There you go. There you go.
It's not like they're like, oh, we don't like Shedeur Sanders, we're going to sabotage him. No, they're also sabotaging Dylan Gabriel. Like, it doesn't matter what quarterback you are. The Cleveland Browns get their hands on you. Yep, you're being sabotaged.
That was my favorite claim from the weekend was the play calling changed as soon as Shedeur came in. They didn't give Shedeur any of those max protections and quick looks that they gave Gabriel. No, Gabriel just gets the ball out on time. Shedeur hangs on to the football. It's literally that simple. I went back and watched every play. I was at the game. I went back and watched every play afterward. You know how many times he had short options and on most of his dropbacks? You know how many times he held on the ball because he didn't see that guy and panicked because, oh God, the pocket's not perfect? Like, let it rest. He's a 5th-round pick for a reason. He's not special at anything. Let the guy develop. Move him out of the microscope. Focus on something else. Get another hobby. Because following him and alleging this is just a waste of your time.
I saw someone on TikTok, and they're like, Cleveland Browns, if you want us to watch, you will play Shedeur Sanders. I'm like, you know what? I hope you do play him. Start him. And then what's your excuse going to be?
When he
takes
sucks?
When he takes 5 sacks for 40 yards. What's your excuse going to be then? And I was dealing with it down here in Tampa, too, because the Buccaneers just released Shiloh Sanders, and everyone's like, why would you release him just because he threw a punch? Like,
that's not why.
Like, bro, I was like, that's not why. I was like, that's the last time you saw him in a Buccaneers jersey, yes, but like if you watched it, like, preseason week 1, he looked okay. Preseason week 2 was kind of just nowhere to be seen. And then against the Bills during preseason week 3, first time you heard his name was for defensive holding. Second time you heard his name was when he was ejected. So it's like you're not going to – first of all, it's incredibly difficult to make a 53-man roster. It's incredibly difficult to make a 53-man roster when you're an undrafted free agent rookie and 25 years old. Like, Shiloh is middle-aged in terms of football. So – I don't know what we're talking about here, but the fix is not in for the Sanders family.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, Deion's kids aren't superstars like Deion was. That's okay. Michael Jordan's kids weren't either.
If the fix was in for Shedeur Sanders, he would have been cut by the Browns. They would have left him on the roster.
Yes, exactly. You know what? It just hit me. I just figured it out. When you relayed the whole, why would you cut him just because he got in a fight? What I heard is the same group of idiots who became Colorado fans who never watched college football prior.
No.
2 years ago. But because Deion was the coach and he was the talk of college football and all these think pieces about how he was revolutionizing the game, which he wasn't, by the way. And I'm not even hating on him. I'm just saying, let's be realistic here. All that stuff was flying around. All these people were tuning into Colorado football because of that. Because it was trendy. Because it was the talk of the town across the country and online, right? Those same people who got real quiet when Colorado finished 4-8 and didn't come back around for the next season when Colorado was actually good and Shedeur had a good year and Travis Hunter was balling the hell out, they've migrated to the NFL because Shedeur's back in the conversation, because Shiloh's back in the conversation, and they just want to be part of the trendy thing again. That's all it is. Go away. Go away. Let the football happen as it's happened for 100 years.
Like, you can blame, and my favorite argument with the whole Shedeur thing was, like, all of the offensive linemen that were blocking for him were cut, like, 2 days later. Yeah, well, Snoop Huntley, they were blocking for him, too, and he went down the field.
Right down the field.
Yeah, like, what are we talking about here?
You know why? Because he got the ball out on time.
He's a rookie. He's a 5th-round draft pick. Like you said, let the guy develop. He does have some talent. Those 2 throws, those 2 touchdowns he had in the first preseason game, those were pretty nice. That looked good. Let's see more of that, but you got to bring that out of him, because also holding onto the ball for 8 seconds and taking 41 yards and 5 sacks, like, that is not going to cut it anywhere.
It is very rare.
And that's what happened to him.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And that's what happened to him in college.
Yes, exactly. You're right, especially his first year, because Deion didn't recruit any linemen, except our left tackle at Kent State. Thanks. It is very rare for any quarterback to be microwaved into a competent starter as a rookie in the NFL. It is Joe Burrow. I mean, even Tom Brady was not ready when he started his career. He was on the bench behind Drew Bledsoe for a couple of years, a year until Bledsoe got hurt. This is pretty common. When you're a 5th-round pick, you're a developmental guy. Throwing him out on the field he's not just going to take the league by storm. Jaden Daniels was a microwave player because he played a ton of college football at 2 different places and high-level college football in the SEC his final couple of years. That doesn't happen often, and it's fine. Let the kid develop. He's a crock pot, not a microwave. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
All right, now that we've spent way too much time on the North because of the Browns. I'm sorry, I just needed to get that off.
Because of Shedeur Sanders.
I needed to get that off, yeah.
All right, let's go to the NFC North. Another phenomenal division. The Norths, they remember that they are very good at football. You go ahead first.
Okay. Again, this disclaimer is that I put these picks out, or these record predictions out July 1st, and it's August 27th, so they may be a little outdated. I have Detroit at 14-3. Green Bay at 13-4. Accounting for the unknown with Minnesota, I have them at 10-7. I do think they may be better than that. And Chicago, again, this is another example of the math ain't mathin' here, but we're going to roll with it anyway. 9-8 for the Bears.
Okay.
And
so
after
everyone...
the preseason, yeah, everyone's going to finish with a winning record.
Cool.
After the preseason, I feel pretty good about this. I have concerns, Sean. I'm concerned with Detroit's defensive depth. I'm concerned with Green Bay's depth at receiver or lack thereof. I'm concerned with the unknown in Minnesota, although there's a weird, calm confidence emanating from Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings operation right now that makes me think they're going to be just fine. But their depth at receiver is also going to be tested. They're not going to have Jordan Addison for the first 3 games because of suspension. Justin Jefferson didn't participate a whole bunch during training camp because he's coming back from an injury as well. And they have like Lucky Jackson and like Ty Felton as like the rookie receivers as options there. So a little concerned about that. And Chicago, Ben Johnson's not going to build Rome in a day or in one season, but they're going to be a lot more fun to watch than they were last year. And Caleb's going to be more fun to watch too.
I will still go Lions winning the NFC North. Give me 14-3. Yes, they have depth problem on the defense. That really didn't stop them at all last year. They won 15 games, I will then take the Packers, and I don't feel good about this, at 11-6 because, again, I'm worried about, like you said, the wide receiver depth. But I'm also worried about Jordan Love a little bit because I feel like after that contract, he took a little bit of a step backward and didn't quite look as electric as he did 2 years ago. So I'm kind of keeping my eye on him. And, yeah, you're right. We're not hearing a lot from Minnesota. And for them, that's probably a good thing. Will there be a drop-off between Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is Kevin O'Connell is a hell of a coach, and he is a hell of a quarterback whisperer. So if someone can get the best out of J.J. McCarthy and keep this team in contention, I think it's Kevin O'Connell. I'll put them then at 10-7. Again, winning 14 games every year is not going to happen, but their roster is pretty good nonetheless. So I'll go 10-7, and then I will go 7-10 for the Bears. Better than they were last year. You're going to see the improvements, but yeah, you said it. Rome's not built in a day. Give Ben Johnson some time. I think Caleb Williams looked better this preseason, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think that Bears fans, whoever among you listeners that are Bears fans, may come after you, Sean, and that's to be expected. And I would say you're somewhat justified in that, but not because there's any legitimate proof to point toward as like a basis for your argument.
Well, they also have to play 6 games against some of the best teams in the NFL.
Yes,
in Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit.
Ideally, they don't lose all of them, but it's going to be a test. It's going to be difficult. But I will say that this may be a minor victory. You're in a much better position under Ben Johnson than you ever were under Matty Eberflus.
Yep.
Like the organization
I didn't even think that was up for debate.
It's come up to competence, and it just existed below it. But last year was the year that they were going to take the league by storm because they had Caleb, and they didn't realize that they had a guy who was not a good head coach as their head coach. Yeah. So I feel better about your team, but I don't think that you're going to become the Lions overnight. And I just want to caution against that sort of. And I think at this point, most realistic Bears fans understand that as well. But they're going to be more fun to watch. Yeah. They are one of a handful of teams that I'm really excited to watch this year. The Raiders are another one of those teams that I can't wait to watch this year. So I
think a lot of Bears fans are just like you said, they want to see that competence on the field. They just want to see, okay, can we do this? Can I see that things are going to be all right? They don't need to be all right right now, but like, can I see that in a year or two we're going to be there? And if they start to see those steps, then I think Bears fans are going to be fine, even if you only win 7 games.
Yeah,
like,
patience.
Again,
Patience.
7 wins, a win here, a win there. Now you have a winning record. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a game of inches, literally. All right, so there's the NFC North. Let's move on to the East divisions. You want to do NFC or AFC first?
I mean, we did AFC North. Let's do AFC East.
All right, AFC East. Nick, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be much surprise here. This is the Buffalo Bills division to win.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Dolphins. My bad.
Oh, no. Heard an interesting note on SV Pod this week. And it bums me out because I like to think I'm ahead of the curve sometimes in this pro football business since it is my livelihood. And sometimes I'm right. And I think I might be right, proven correct with another team that we've already discussed. Actually, that we're going to discuss later in this segment. But, like, I felt pretty bad about the Dolphins for, like, more than a year now. Like, they were going in a bad direction. And I feel that way about them this year offensively. But defensively, because of past investments in the front seven, they have, like, one of the most loaded front sevens I've seen in a long time. And if all those guys that are, you know, in that group can be healthy at the same time, I think that they can actually become one of the more fearsome pass rushes in the NFL, which could go a long way toward them being competitive. So, like, the record that I put out there in July, I finished Buffalo 12-5, which people that believe in the Bills think that they're going to win 14 or 15 games, but I think I know enough to know that Buffalo's going to trip and fall a couple of times. 12-5 feels right for them. I have the Jets at 9-8. And I'm kind of regretting it now. Because I feel like they are another organization that went from being led by children to being led by adults. But what I forgot to remember is that even if you have talent on a team and the adults are finally in the room, you usually don't make that transition as quickly as you'd like or as you'd expect. And it starts really with quarterback, where I'm one of the last surviving Justin Fields defenders, and yet I cannot confidently defend him after what I saw in brief preseason outings. I think it's going to be a little bit of a rough process offensively for them. So 9-8 feels a little high. I have New England at 8-9. They have so many new additions. First year under Mike Vrabel. Another
again,
case of like
adults are in the room, right? Like
yeah,
Mike Vrabel is such a good coach. We were all like, why is he being let go by Tennessee? Someone's going to scoop him up. Lo and behold, it's his old team.
But a lot of that is dependent on if the offensive line can block for Drake May. And I until it's proven to me, I can't be that confident in them. So I'd like to reshuffle this deck.
All right.
Because a lot of people, you know, were on the whole Miami stinks, Miami's going in a bad direction train, almost to where there was too many. And like now I feel like I got to be a hipster and go against the grain. So I'm going to go Buffalo 12-5. I'm going to go Miami 9-8. I'm going to go New York 8-9, and the Patriots are going to be 7-10.
God dang it, Nick.
And if you watch this on YouTube, you can see me literally working through my thoughts with my hands.
You really were, yeah. I'm basically going chalk. I was going to say Bills 13-4. Then I was going to say Dolphins 10-7. I was going to say Jets 8-9. And then, yes, Patriots 7-10. So as you reshuffled your deck, you basically just found my deck. Yeah, I really wish I would have gone first. Damn it. I mean, this is the Bills' division to win. I mean, it just is, and they're going to. But I also think Mike McDaniel's kind of on the hot seat a little bit. He needs to produce something.
A lot.
And he also needs to produce a playoff win. If Tua can stay healthy, I think the Dolphins are fine, especially on defense. I like that Minka. I don't like that he's not in Pittsburgh, but, like, you know, he's a good player, and I think he can be used very well back in Miami where he was drafted. And then on offense, yeah, I mean, what I'm going to be curious about is the relationship with Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Dolphins offense, because, I mean, even Tua said at the beginning of preseason, you know, like, after saying, like, you're out, you don't want to play here anymore, like, it's not just like a, hey, sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, you got to, like, prove to us that, like, you want to be here again. So how's that relationship going to be like in the locker room? At the end of the day, they're all, professionals. They have to conduct themselves as such. But, I mean, will it have an effect? I don't know. But I still think McDaniels, with Tua, if he can stay healthy, I think they'll be all right. They'll be good. They'll be 10-7 worthy. And then, what I saw from Justin Fields this preseason, I mean, it didn't look great. I saw a lot of people trying to explain away the bad throws and the, miscommunications and like, well, that one wasn't on him. The minute you start doing that and saying, oh, that one wasn't on him, the minute you are making excuses not just for Justin Fields but also for inadequacies in the Jets as a whole, I think they will be better than where they were last year. I think they're building the team the right way, but I don't think Justin Fields is the guy to get them there. I just don't.
It's fair. I mean, he's on a 2-year deal for a reason. Maybe they do something with him that nobody expects, but just the early returns are not encouraging. Let's go to our last division.
All right. The NFC East, where the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles are opening up the season a week from tomorrow, because we're recording this on Wednesday, August 27th. This division is also up for grabs because, well, yes, the Eagles are the defending champs. It's tough to imagine the Cowboys being as bad as they were last year. You also have the Commanders on the come up. I can't bet against the Eagles, can I?
No.
Give me the Eagles 12-5.
God damn it.
Give me the Commanders 11-6. Give me the Cowboys 9-8. And if they don't have Micah, give me the Cowboys 8-9. And then,
the G-Man.
I got to be honest with you. I've given the Giants almost zero thought this preseason other than seeing.
Oh, you missed a great. I'll talk about it in a second. You missed some fun football.
Because, is Brian Dable a good coach? I don't know. Jackson Dart actually looks okay. It looks like he was, the quarterback to draft after Cam Ward.
Pick a record, Sean.
Give me 6-11.
God damn it. We got to really get some variety. This is why Katie not being here really kills.
This is why I wanted to go first this time.
All right. Would you like to expand upon your record predictions, or can I dive in?
Now go for it.
All right. I have the Eagles at 12-5. The records that I submitted in July are getting adjusted because I've changed my mind on some things. Washington is going to go 10-7. And Washington is not going to be the same beast that they were last year. Okay? Just going to say that now. They are going to regress a little bit, and it's not going to really have to do with Jaden Daniels. The Cowboys are going to go 7-10.
Okay.
And a lot of that has to do with the whole Parsons thing, the whole situation. And because, their running back room, Javonte Williams is the starter. I don't know if Miles Sanders survived cuts. I didn't check. Jaden Blue, the rookie, got hurt in their final preseason game after he got a lot of work. I don't like. There's a lot about this team that I don't like, including their first-time head coach, who was hired from down the hall.
But George Pickens, man.
I actually love their top 2 receivers. That's probably what I love most.
It's hard not to like George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
I don't believe in the operation. I don't think Brian Schottenheimer is going to do a good job as a head coach. I think he's in over his head, personally. Judging by what was coming out of their camp and how he was trying to be a hard-ass coach, overly trying to be forcing guys who weren't practicing to still wear their practice jerseys on the sideline and, making them run a lot and stuff, it just feels like a try-hard coach. So 7-10 for them. And then I'm going to say the Giants are also going to go 7-10, and it's only going to be after Russell Wilson.
Some variety.
Russell Wilson is benched for Jackson Dart in the first month of the season and never sees the field again because this is Jackson Dart's team and it's Jackson Dart's future. And he's going to find a way with his positive play to save Brian Daboll's job, even though they only go 7-10. Maybe they go 8-9. Maybe Dallas finishes last. Yeah, you know what? Screw it.
Do it.
Giants 8-9. Cowboys 7-10. Jackson Dart, baby. Let's freak. Oh, and by the way, a very talented pass rushing unit. Let's not forget that.
Yes. With the addition of Abdul Carter as well.
Kind of got Abdul Carter and a group that also has Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns. Pretty good group there.
Mm-hmm.
Giants are going 8-9 because it's Jackson Dart season, baby. Let's go.
My barber is a Giants fan. He's gonna love that. I'm gonna get a haircut next week.
I'm telling you, the offense changed. It's preseason. I understand that, but when Russ was in there, it was a lot of what the Steelers did last year with him. Couldn't sustain drives. And then Dart comes in, and he just consistently moves them down the field. He's running. He's throwing accurately. He's super relaxed and in complete control and throws with conviction. I really, really, really liked watching him play for the Giants this preseason. I think he is their quarterback of the future, and I think Brian Daboll already knows that and is not going to hesitate to make the switch at the first sign of trouble. So those who are fans of Russell Wilson, enjoy it while it lasts, because it ain't going to last long. And the Giants, I think, are going to finish on a hot streak and save Daboll's job and carry a lot of momentum into 2026. So that's why they end up 8-9.
I think. Does this kind of liken to the Lions of a couple of years ago, where they finished on a hot streak, and I think also finished 8-9. Yeah, where they finished that Sunday night game against the Packers, and they beat them, and it's like, hey, this team is fun. This Lions team, and now they're just a behemoth in the NFC North.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. By the way, Katie's in the chat. She said 8-9 Giants, baby.
With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 E's.
We miss you. Please
we miss
back.
you, Katie. We talked about how good you could do voiceover work. You should do that.
Yeah, we did. You have a great voice for voiceover, especially when you bring it down like this. I'm like, oh wow, that is that could be done in a number of different commercial opportunities.
I would be remiss, however, if any Giants fans listening getting too high on themselves here. This is just preseason, and take it from a Steelers fan who watched Kenny Pickett, I think, throw 6 touchdowns off 20 total passes a couple of years ago. It is just preseason. Just remember that. Just remember that.
Sean, how do you feel about the backup quarterback situation with the Steelers right now? Huh? I mean, were you part of Skylar Thompson mania this preseason?
A little bit, honestly.
Because he played better in the preseason than in one preseason game than his combined production in any actual NFL game he's ever appeared in.
Better. Well, he also played better this preseason than Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph consistently didn't see the underneath guy, threw a couple of really ugly picks that were 100% his fault. One I got a front row seat for when he was picked up by Zion McCollum in the second preseason game against the Bucs. So. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I feel like we were kind of cheated, though, because we didn't get to see Will Howard, who is expected to be healthy for week 1, but, I mean, he hasn't practiced since, the first week of training camp, so I don't even know what they have in Will Howard. I don't know. The backup quarterback room is an enigma. That's why the Steelers have Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. They're kind of taking the Browns approach of just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. If I could get my damn browser to scroll for 1 second so I could see these cuts. Come on, Google Chrome.
You also just announced the, title of Aaron Rodgers' self-promoted, self-produced Netflix documentary, Enigma.
Yes, I did.
Sir, you're not an enigma. We can read you. Pretty much like a book. We know who you are. We got you. We know who you are.
Logan Woodside got cut. You're right. They do have all those guys. Wow, they had a lot of defensive backs in camp that they cut. James Pierre, Beanie Bishop.
And now they're back on the practice squad.
Chuck Clark trying to make a comeback. All right, anyway, I'm not going to read down Cuts list here. A couple of items of note before we head out, Sean. We got some quarterback battles decided over the last week or two. As you alluded to earlier, Joe Flacco won the job almost by default in Cleveland because none of the other guys were healthy enough to truly compete. Kenny Pickett has since been traded to the Raiders. In New Orleans, Spencer Rattler has won the job over first-round pick Tyler Shook.
He wasn't a first-round pick.
He was a second-round pick.
And I knew second or third?
As soon as I said it, I knew I was wrong. I believe he was a second-round pick. Yeah, he was a second-round pick.
Okay, second-round pick. Yeah, that's my pick to be the worst team in the NFL this year.
Yes, I agree. Also, the Indianapolis Colts, a team that we already said I don't think about you at all on a previous show. They chose the quarterback that is the definition of mid at best. Daniel Jones has won the competition over Anthony Richardson.
It's called the Midwest because every single thing in it is mid. Yeah. Daniel Jones. Mid.
The Colts
Anthony
outlook.
Richardson.
Mid.
Slightly below mid.
Yeah.
The Colts outlook, very mid.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because they have a good roster.
Those are some quarterback competitions that were solved. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
You got Teddy Two Gloves winning the backup role down here in Tampa.
Yeah. Bye, Kyle Trask. We hardly knew you considering you never really saw the field. But he was a connection to Tom Brady. He was around.
Yes.
Tom Brady
Yeah. He was supposed to be Tom Brady's replacement, and actually, Nick, the only Buccaneers quarterback in franchise history to ever re-sign with the team.
Well, wait. Baker did.
No, to be drafted.
Oh.
The only quarterback to be drafted by the Bucs and then sign a second contract.
You hear that? Josh Freeman?
Doug Williams.
You hear that? Who else have they drafted? Jameis Winston.
Was Trent Dilfer a draft pick? I don't remember.
My brain's no. Trent Dilfer was a Raven.
He was a Buccaneer first.
Oh, he was a draft pick.
Hold on a second. Hey, Brian. Did the Bucs draft Trent Dilfer? Yes. Yeah, okay. They drafted him.
All right. Yeah, and then he ended up being with the Ravens. Yeah, because I was thinking. I
love working in the sports office where I can just shout things like, "Hey!"
In that same era, Dilfer was a hot prospect. All right, we are digressing.
We are spiraling. This has been episode 78 of the Gridiron Podcast. Thanks so much for joining and listening. Thank you, Katie. She's been following along. Thank you for everyone else for following along as well. As always, you can find us on Instagram at Gridiron Pod. That's on IG at Gridiron Pod. And then you can email us at the Gridiron Podcast 3. That's the Gridiron Podcast number 3. Katie, say it with me. Damn those other two. At gmail.com. I can feel it all the way from British Columbia. I know Katie said, damn those other two.
I'm just laughing at the fact that neither of us can talk today. My brain is barely functioning right now.
I know. It's my Friday. I'm getting out of here. I couldn't
think of the word moratorium earlier. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, you idiot. I'm going to the college football opener tomorrow night. USF hosting Boise State. Then Friday, I'm going to see Blink-182. So my mind is complete mush right now, man. Let's have a day.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
That's good. Keep going, man. keep going. I missed a Struts concert to be here with you tonight, Nick, so that's how much I love you and all of our listener.
Make sure you put the S on it. Wheezy F baby. Don't forget the F. Don't forget the baby. Please say the baby.
For Nick Shook and Katie Caldwell, I'm Sean Barie. This has been episode 78 of the Gridiron Podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and listen. We'll be back next week with our Week 1 preview, baby, and our Dutch Grand Prix review. Say goodnight, Nick.
Good night, Nick.
As always, live life in the fast lane.
Hi, Katie. Bye, Katie. See you soon, Katie.